Out and About TV. Travel, adventure, and RVs. Join Sharon and Tom each week as they travel America in a 30-foot trailer exploring and living the RV lifestyle. From trip and product reviews to RV show reports and an unfiltered look at life on the road. This is the show for you. Welcome.
What a day for a daydream, custom made for a daydreaming boy. How you doing? Glad you joined us. Thanks so much for stopping by. Your weekly get-together where we talk story about adventures and travel and camping and RVs. I'm Tom McAuliffe. Sharon McAuliffe is wandering around here somewhere, and we're certainly glad you're here. We've got a bunch of stuff coming your way. This week, we're going to talk about like the 5 or 10 best RV scenic drives in America. Some I've done, some I've researched, and I'm going to do, but these are 10 of the most wonderful scenic drives in the lower 48. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk too about GPS systems and what else? We're going to do a wonderful spotlight on 2 of my favorite folks from the RV lifestyle community, one and only Mike and Jen. Yeah. And then coming up too, we're going to take a trip along Savannah. Sharon took me to Savannah last year for the St. Patty's Day parade. We sat right down front in the honor stands, and yeah, it right across from the cathedral. It was really spectacular. We're going to talk all about that. A little trip report there. Also going to do a product roundup of dehumidifiers. In summertime in the Southland, dehumidifiers are really super important and can make your air conditioning in your rig work far less. So we're going to definitely talk about that. We're going to talk about RV myths that refuse to dry. Easy for you to say. We're going to talk about RV myths that refuse to die. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. What would you like us to cover? What's going on with you? I'm getting ready to put some hard-earned money down on a rig. So I've been going through that whole process, and that is both rewarding and exciting and scary. It should be a lot easier, rather. It shouldn't be this hard to find a good rig. There should be more layouts towards seniors, more layouts with twin beds, 25, 26, 27 feet, twin axle, lightweight, something around 5,000 pounds with a 600-pound hitch tongue weight. So, yeah. It's exciting, but stay tuned right here, and we're going to go through this together, and I'll tell you what I've learned. And if you have something that you'd like to say, you can send us a video, you can send us an email right here at this address. And so buckle up, get ready to go, and away we go.
At Out and About TV, we've done the legwork for you, watching, analysing and curating the top RV YouTube channels that cover everything from trailers and fifth wheels to vans and mobile homes. Whether you're a full-time RVer, a weekend warrior, or just a RV curious wannabe, we will help you find the very best channels and provide some unique content of our own. These RV YouTubers have turned their passion into full-time careers, influencing the RV community and even shaping industry trends. Channels that entertain, educate, and inspire with hosts that have the heart of a teacher. Stop by and we will examine what these channels are covering. And it is more than just entertainment. Just consider Out and About your personal digital campfire for all things RV.
Well, I am super excited about having our guest on the show. He is very well known in the RV community. And Robert has been on national television. He's been across this big country of ours, one way or the other. His wife or significant other, they're insatiable travelers, currently residing in South Florida. And they travel from one end of this country to the other and share their travel stories, creating inspiring, informative, and entertaining videos about travel and RVs. And they enjoy the journey as much as the destination, which is what it's all about. They sample local cuisine, visit main attractions, and go off the beaten path to places that you might not think about visiting. In 2014, they acquired a small travel trailer, and 3 years later, he decided to make travel videos and go full-time. His significant other joined him on the road in 2020, working remotely, and they're currently traveling in a small Class C RV. And while they have their original trailer, they are planning to upgrade soon. Well, I'm super excited about having my next guest on the show. He has been a fixture in the RV community for a number of years. You've seen him. I've seen him, be it at a trade show or online. He's a wonderful musician as well. Please put your hands together and welcome Robert Morales.
Well, thank you, Tom, for having me.
My pleasure, sir. Well, hey, let's get right into it. Tell me a little bit about your background. Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Havana, Cuba, many years ago. From there, in my teenage years, I moved to Spain, to Madrid, Spain. We were there for about a year and a half, and then we came to the United States one December 13th, 1988. So that's the short story. Yeah.
Have you always been a camper, an outdoorsman?
In fact, I was not. I was always a city boy. So was my family. I actually slept in a tent for the first time like 4 months ago. We did a little more actually. We did a backpacking trip down to the Grand Canyon, and that was the first time. Actually, it went better than I expected. The tent part, at least. But no, it was my brother-in-law's idea, and we kind of jumped into RVing. We skipped that camping part, and the thing what happened, we rented an RV, and I really enjoyed the idea of traveling with your home. Having your own bathroom, your own everything. So. And long story short, a few months later, we bought our first travel trailer.
Well, I first met you via Prime, Amazon Prime, and your show on there. How did that happen?
Well, Amazon Prime, I'm talking oh, it's been like 7 years now, even 8 years. Amazon Prime made it almost as easy for you to upload to Amazon Prime as you did to YouTube. I mean, they had some kind of quality control, and they made you like pay for subtitles and all that. But it was relatively easy. If your show was more or less good quality, they would accept it and they would let you broadcast. Lately, they made you jump through a lot of hoops, and now if I want to publish a show on Amazon, actually they want me to charge for it. And the idea was for all this to be free with Prime. So I decided to just stick with YouTube for now, and YouTube has been good to me. So
And I know that you go to RV shows and meet and greet people, all your fans and such. Do
yeah.
you have any plans
Well,
coming up? You're going to be at Hershey?
I've been going to RV shows since before, that when I was looking for my first RV actually, and ever since. I mean, I've been to the Tampa RV show, the Florida RV Super Show, like they want us to call it. For I only skipped one in the past 12 years or so. I've been to Hershey like 7 times. I have plans to go to Hershey right now. I'm like in a holding pattern with my travels because of some family health issues that So I'm not making any setting stone plans to travel. I intend to be at Hershey, but I'll give it 50-50 at this point.
Well, as we see in your background, you have a wonderful studio there. Where can
Mhm.
people hear your music?
Well, my music, originally I used to sell CDs and I used to pack them myself and all that and put it on the mail. But lately, like my new truck doesn't have a CD player. I mean, the previous one, the CD is kind of that physical media that is going away slowly, like cassettes did and 8-track, and actually LPs are making a comeback now, believe it or not.
Wow.
But I might release an LP at some point. But my music is just available. You can go to my website, travelingrobert.com, and there's a music tab that you can listen over there on the website for free. But if you want to put it on your phone or listen to in the car, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere people listen to music nowadays. And you can also purchase it and download it on the iTunes store if you want to. So yeah.
Well, that's certainly
And I and I
outstanding.
intend to release a new album soon with some unpublished music that I've done in the past couple of years.
Your theme song continually plays in my head. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry for that earworm. Actually, I came up with it right after our first RV trip to the West. I'm here, I'm in the bathroom, I'm in the shower, and I'm like, I'm riding in my yard. That sounds pretty good.
yes.
And then I grabbed my phone and recorded that jingle or the hook, the chorus. And then a few months later, I actually, started laying down there's a video on YouTube where it shows like me playing all the instruments and all that.
Now,
So yeah.
what do you love about it's obvious that you love it. What do you love about the RV lifestyle? What attracted
Well,
you?
there are many layers of this, right? The first thing that attracted me was, it's that we can travel with our own bathroom, our own kitchen, we can cook our own meals. So you don't have to like live out of a suitcase, basically. But that was the beginning. Then it's the places that you get to know and the people that you get to meet. Those are the other two layers, right? I had no idea, like so many places, especially in the Western United States, but I think every state you can find some hidden gems and things like that. But you learn to appreciate the nature and all the different, like the first time you take a cross country road trip. I think everybody, if they have the time, they should be able to experience that. How the climate changes, the topography changes, and if you're traveling like through West Texas, it's kind of gradual, and all of a sudden you realize once you're in the desert. And the other thing is the people that you've met, because when you live in a place your whole life, you only, especially me, I live in Little Havana. 90% of my friends are Cuban. So once you or were Cuban, I should say. Once you get to visit different places and meet different people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all different parts of the country, It enriches you more than you realize. So that has been my the best takeaway from all this.
Well, when I visited Miami, the thing about that just is the food, the Cuban
Well,
food.
yeah.
And you can go into these small little restaurants where it's just a mom and pop
Mm,
and it tastes like your grandma made. So
yeah.
it's very exciting. So we talked about
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
national television show. What is your current rig and what are your current plans? You're going to go out and about or just kind of hang out?
Well, well, because I don't know if I mentioned that, right now I'm kind of not traveling much because I need to be in Miami for, family health issues, namely my mom. But, last year I decided I wanted to have the best of both worlds. So I bought a small Class C, which is something that I wanted for a very long time. I bought a 24-foot Winnebago Trend, no slides, and that has been a game changer when it came to doing Route 66. It's like a car. I treat it like a car. It's a long car. I park it anywhere and just stop for lunch or go to a restaurant or a museum, anything like that. And then the one that most folks haven't seen on my videos yet is I bought another travel trailer. Um, for many years, I had a relationship with Winnebago in which they would lend me the trailers. That relationship ended about a year ago, and then I bought this outdoors RV. It's a 26-foot travel trailer that right now I have it parked in my property in North Florida. It's kind of like at this point it's serving as a tiny house or destination trailer, but at some point we're gonna start traveling with that one and two. And it's the two different styles of travel. My Class C is gonna be for those road trips where I want to stop at every single stop along the way that I want to see. And then when 4 p.m. comes, look for a harvest host or a boondocking spot or once in a while a campground so you can dump the tanks. And then this travel trailer is going to be to stay at places for 3-4 days a week, even longer if it is a place that I really like. So we'll see how that goes. But
And where
it
would
was
be
a
the
dream that I had.
and where would be the next place that you would want to visit?
Oh, I wanted to do like a historical trip in the Northeast, like Philadelphia, the for the 250th birthday of the United States, right? I don't I It's still in the plans. I don't know if I wanted to do it like in June, so the video will be ready in July. That's kind of what I want to do next. But there are many plans. My Class C is right now stored in Las Vegas after I did the Route 66. I want to bring it back to the east, but I want to take US 50, the loneliest road in America. And US 50, it's lonely in the west, but then in the east, US
Oh,
50 goes right through downtown Washington, D.C., and it ends in Ocean City, Maryland, from Sacramento to Ocean City, Maryland.
wow.
That will be another trip that probably this fall, if all goes well.
Well, that's very, very exciting. Um, and so we talked about the fact that we'll see you at Hershey this year. So people will be
I would love to go, yes.
lining up down the queue and around the corner to see you. Um, let me ask you
Well,
this.
in Hershey, we usually do two official meetups, right? There's the official meetup organized by the fairgrounds there, by the Hershey RV Show, the New England RV Association. No, it's not the New England. Well, the RV Show, and there will be on their website. There's usually an official meetup, but then usually on the Thursday of the show around 6 p.m., I'm usually at the brewery. So if you're around, I might happen to be at Trugs Brewing Company around 5 or 6 p.m.
Well,
on
that
Thursday.
save me a seat.
And
I'm
that's
right
the
next to
unofficial one.
Yeah, save me a seat. Um, let me ask you this. Is it a hassle to be so well known? I'm sure you have people stop you in
Uh,
restaurants or when you're walking at a show, they say, "Hey, I saw your show." Is it a hassle?
not, not at all. Since RVing is such a relatively small niche, most of the time I'm anonymous. Nobody recognizes me. I mean, sometimes I run into someone at the local supermarket here in Miami, but the only place where it really shows it's when I go to an RV show or certain campgrounds. For some reason, in Ohio, I have a huge following. So usually, when I stop at a campground in places like Ohio, uh, someone will recognize me at that campground. But it's the most at the RV shows, and I don't mind at all. In fact, I love meeting people and listening to their stories and how they got to, and how in some way maybe my videos have enhanced their life, or in some way, either entertainment, or I got them through COVID, or I get all kinds of stories,
You
and that's
always
very
share
rewarding. It's probably the most rewarding parts of my work. Yeah.
you always share great information as well as entertaining. It's fun to watch, but you also get some great information, and we really appreciate that.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, you're welcome.
what do you think is first off, did you ever think you'd see $6 a gallon gas?
Well, I've seen it in California in the past, but like countrywide, no. It's that my last fill up was $90 and it hurt. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully it will come down. I mean,
Other than
it is
gas,
what it is, right?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Other than gas, what do you think is the most challenging aspect of being a full-time RVer these days?
Well, it's always other than gas. Well, if you're a full-time RVer, actually, if you're planning a vacation for Memorial Day, that's those are the folks, or that weekend, those are the folks most affected by it. Because if you're a full-timer, you just don't travel as far. You're full-timing, right? So you don't need to travel cross country tomorrow. Let's just go to the next state or the next county. And that's why a lot of people I hear, like, that are full-time RVers, that's what they're doing. They're just not just going as far as they would. Um, Now that guy who's making a vacation trip from Iowa to Yellowstone, those folks are gonna feel it more the most. But now the most challenging part is the fact that something is going to break at some point. It's not all like perfect all the time,
Right. Do you prefer when
and
you're
like for example, in 2021, the big challenge was finding campsites, because everybody, 2020, 2021, that was the biggest challenge. There's nothing, you had to pay overpriced, prices for places, or sometimes you just couldn't find anything. And it really affected that serendipitous travel, that sometimes you just want to get a last minute campsite at a national park. So
and what is your preferred camping style? Do you like to boondock? Do you do state parks? Do you do campgrounds? What do you like?
I like to mix it up, to be honest. I mean, I love boondocking, but in the summer with 90-degree weather, boondocking may not be the best idea, unless you want to run a generator all night, which we don't. I love state parks. I found some of the greatest. Florida has some great state parks, Georgia, Ohio. I mean, I haven't done all the states. Utah has some great state parks.
Really?
And then once in a while, there's something to be said for the RV resort. Sometimes you want amenities, you want a swimming pool, and something a little more luxurious. But those, of course, it's you pay for them. Sometimes it is more expensive than a hotel room. But
Well,
but I love boondocking. I love the idea of boondocking, especially out west.
my wife's idea of roughing it is being poolside without a drink.
No,
So
there you
she likes she likes those RV resorts a lot.
go.
Um, let me just I always ask my guests this question. If there was one thing that people that you wanted people to know about Free in My RV, the show, and what you do, what would it be? If there was one thing that you would want other people to know about the show, what would it be?
About my show.
Yes.
Uh, well, that's I wasn't expecting that question. Well, I mean, if you I do a live stream every Friday, and there's gonna be a new video every Sunday, and I really think you are gonna enjoy it. Some of them is just me walking around Las Vegas. Some of them, a lot of research goes into them, and I want you to travel with me through my lens and my voice, and have as close an experience as what I had when I did the trip or the travel. Yeah.
And where can they find you online? Do you have a website, Facebook
Traveling
page?
I have travelingrobert.com. That's the main website. Otherwise, it's Traveling Robert everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course. I'm even on TikTok. So yeah, Traveling Robert.
And where can
American
they get?
spelling with one L, because across the pond they spell traveling with two L's. Mine is the American spelling with just one L. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say that when people immigrate from other countries, you're more American than I am. You guys know, I mean, I actually looked at the citizen test. I think most Americans couldn't pass a citizen test.
Yeah.
No, they don't know the
Yeah.
history. They don't know. So, where can they get one of those cool T-shirts? Show us your T-shirt that you're
No, this is
wearing.
the new free my RV with my Class C. Actually, if you watch any of my videos on the computer, there will be a bar right below the video with all the different types of T-shirts. Otherwise, just go to my website, travelingrobert.com, click on merch, and it's all there.
Well, Robert, we certainly appreciate you taking the time. I'll look forward to seeing you at Hershey or out and about on the road. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for everything you do for us. We appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. And thank you for having me again, Tom.
See you again.
See you on the road.
Hey, every week, tune in. We're going to keep cataloging the best in RV channels on YouTube and tell you what they're all about and save you a little bit of time there. Thanks a lot for tuning in.